10 years ago to the month, I was brand new to real estate. New license, no deals, no downline. But this morning I woke up ranked top 10 out of nearly 100,000 agents worldwide with eXp Realty. And in the first half of this year, I've had 77 new partners join my organization literally in the first 6 months of this year. So if you want the exact playbook, I'm going to break it down more in this video and others to come here on the channel. Fast forward to today, and by the way, the breakdown, if you're curious, 77 new partners, 18 states, 4 countries, 4th country just came on board a couple months ago, and I think we're going to grow like wildfire there with the specific connections that someone in my organization made there locally. Before this year, the most my group had grown in a single year was 90 agents total, and that was last year. And this year I'm on pace to blow right by that. And my goal in the years ahead is to keep growing and compounding that with the right people and leaders in my organization. What I'm most excited about, though, is I'd say this year, the quality and caliber of the partners that have been coming on board is higher than it's been in years past. So it's not just a game of quantity. The quality is at another level this year from what I'm seeing. And I could speculate on why that is, how that is, but all I know for sure is it's there. There's more people getting their first deals done sooner, more people with significant experience coming into my organization. So that's a snapshot of what it looks like. And really this video is an update on, my growth for those who are curious about growing and scaling a real estate business, whether you're a broker owner, because I honestly don't know a lot of broker owners that are growing at the rate I am personally. Like, I'm personally attracting agents into the organization. To be clear, not all the 77 were agents I personally attracted. At least about half of them were actually, in a very significant way at least. So, I'm all ears if there's something I can help. If you get value out of my content, I love connecting with growth-minded people. If you're building an organization, you're clearly all about growth. So make sure you're at least connected with me. Get on my email list. I'll have some additional insights and value to share for you there. So that's in the description. But back to the update here. I believe if you can solve agents' biggest pain points and problems and plug them into the right group that can help really pursue their goals. And for me, it's about personal growth, not just professional growth, but help people personally develop, become the best version of themselves, and do that within a business model that supports that. That's ultimately what I've found to be effective. And that's exactly what I have to offer between my community. So I've built a community on the eXp platform, and that's what agents are attracted to. I had someone I was on a call with the other day who wants to build a brokerage kind of expressed to me that, he said something that kind of made me, share with him, for me, it's not about people joining my brokerage. Fact is, most of the agents that join me are joining me. They're joining my group. They're joining the herd. They're not necessarily joining eXp. As a byproduct, they do, but that's not really first and foremost what attracted them the opportunity. So for me, I don't really care personally if people join my brokerage or not, because that doesn't really have a lot of an effect on me personally. But what does is when the right person comes into the fold with me. For me, it's not about people joining my brokerage. It's about people, it's about alignment. And, for the right person, it's a mutually beneficial thing. It's not one side or the other. It's not something that benefits me, and that's the extent. It's not something that benefits them, and that's the extent. It's a mutually beneficial relationship. And honestly, too, the ideal fit for what I'm building is someone who would reciprocate, not just someone who would benefit and get value, but someone that would give value for the greater good of the whole group and organization, someone that would contribute to it, not just take from it. In fact, if it was someone that we could help and all they're ever going to do is take, I'm not really that interested in working with them, quite honestly, because I don't want to just bring people in who are just going to gain but not give anything back and contribute to the success of others. That's not really what we're about. But anyway, how do I find the right agents? How have I grown this year? So there's 2 big buckets I've had this year. I could speak to what I've done in years past. I've shared insight on a previous video. I'll share more in future videos, but for what's working this year, it's 2 things for me. It is content and it's digital marketing. So content is literally what I'm doing right here on YouTube. I'm adding value to agents through my content, some of which are searching topics that relate to videos I've made. They're finding those topics and they're ending up in my world as a result. Some of them are reaching out directly to join me. In fact, the most recent agent I onboarded, might sound crazy, but I've literally never had a conversation with them. And it's not for lack of effort. I literally called him the day after he onboarded, but he joined without ever having a conversation with me or ever asking me anything. How? It's because he watched my content. He watched enough of my content to know that was the move he wanted to make. And that's not the first time that happened. It's happened multiple times. YouTube's the number one category. The number two category is digital marketing, and it's only number two because it's something I only started doing recently, literally a few months back. But I've put the steps into place for that to be something I keep building over the course of time. I think it can and will become the biggest source of new agents that I'm bringing into the organization personally. I think it has the potential to outpace YouTube. I think both can grow. I've got 7 agents who have onboarded with me this year as a direct result because they wanted to pursue that partnership opportunity and have me invest in their business. That way they can grow their production. For them, it made sense to partner with me on the eXp platform to do that. So we did it. So far that's 7 this year. I think that will grow to a point where it's more than one person a month. How many more? I think it really just depends on how many dollars I put into reaching more people through that. So there's a whole strategy with that, but it's very duplicatable. And none of this would work, by the way, if I didn't have a clear path forward for how I was helping agents with their production. Up to this point, I've helped dozens and dozens of agents successfully build a meaningful income in real estate from little to no income in real estate. I've helped well over a dozen people at this point far surpass their first 100,000 in the business. I'm trying to think of how many it is at this point that are earning multiple 6 figures in real estate. But that's the bottom line is, like, if you're going to do what I do, you have to have a clear plan and vision for how you're actually going to help people, and you have to deliver on it. Because nothing happens if all you do is bring people on board and wish them well. Like, at least for those who are seeking growth, there should be some key things that they can do and plug into. And for me, I'm always available. I'm always responsive. I always get back to my partners when they reach out. And I think, even based on the success I'm having this year, even based on the fact that year to date, I'm top 50 in personal attraction in the organization, I'm top 10, total over the course of time. But even despite that, out of so many agents, I think that what I've done so far is very small compared to what I'm capable of doing. And that's part of why I even make content like this, just to share kind of what's on my mind. Because I know even if it reaches one person who's going to really commit to growing something, if these insights I can share can help them get further quicker than they otherwise would without it, then that's really who I do this for. So this specific video is not intended for hundreds of people. It's really intended for that one person who can benefit and understand these insights I'm sharing and go and implement it to create positive and lasting change in their business and life. So going forward, how am I really going to grow beyond my own example? Because for me, part of the consistency each week and implementing those key things is going to be to set the example for the leaders emerging in my organization, so they see an example of what actually works and can duplicate more of that. For me, going forward, what I know I can do better is really take every single success story that is created in my organization and use that as a piece of content to share the story, the lesson, the social proof, and create a ripple effect, if you will, for more people that can see themselves doing more of what happened with the story. Even people I'm already working with, to see more and more examples of hey, if so-and-so did that, maybe I can do this. As far as what steps I would take if you want to get on the path where you're consistently attracting new agents into your world and ultimately into your business, I would clarify, what problem do you help people solve? Who is your ideal target audience? Is it someone who's brand new to the business? Is it someone who's already producing at a certain level? Is it someone who's working on scaling out and growing their team? Who are you here for, and what message are you putting out there to attract more people like that into your world? Document everything you can along the way to showcase what you do, how you do it, and how you've helped others. And then host events. You want to host something, whether it's an in-person workshop, a webinar or training online that kind of attracts people into your world and gives you a way that you can legitimately add some value, teach something that's helpful that they can go and apply. And then you want to track some key metrics. You want to track new conversations had each week. You want to track invitations made, what you're inviting people to on a regular basis, whether it's an event, a training, what have you. That's the update on my agent attraction business for those who are curious or interested. I believe if you implement something that I shared as far as what I'm doing to build and lead and attract new people into my world, if you take something I'm doing that's working for me, I believe it will work for you as well if you implement it in the right way. So if you have any questions, if you'd like any insights from me, any clarity on any aspect of my game plan looking forward or what's already worked for me up to this point, go ahead and connect with me. You'll find my email and contact information in the description below. With that in mind, I hope you got value out of this, and we'll look forward to connecting with you at some point in the future if we haven't already. And until next time, I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.